The Earth people who can think are so frightened by those who cannot. The dead. The dead.
Anyway, that is called Party Bus to Hell, which was shot here in Vegas.
That's right. The horror comedy stars Tara Reid and was produced by a couple locals. Recently, they stopped by our Moore studio and told us all about their very unique film.
There's just too many movies being made. Distributors don't know what movie to pick. So you really have to do something original and something that's not been done before. We basically themed this movie about a group of partiers headed to Burning Man in Black Rock City. All of a sudden their bus breaks down in the middle of a crazy cult. And
so everything that can go wrong goes wrong. There's a crazy cult out there trying to get them, and they're just trying to survive.
all while someone among them is not who they really say they are.
Well, I just heard the news today. It seems my life is gonna change. I close my eyes, begin to pray, then tears of joy stream down my face with arms wide open. Under the sunlight, welcome to this place. I'll show you everything with arms wide open.
Hi, I'm Michael Mahal.
And I'm Sonny Mahal.
And we've produced and completed 17 feature films.
Well, I don't know if I'm ready.
Please stay indoors.
Be the man I have to be. I'll take a risk. I'll take her by
With
my
7
side.
of the most vicious killers the world has seen in the last decade.
We created life with arms wide open.
I'll be watching.
Under the sunlight, welcome to this place. I'll show you
The Reapers breached the neutral zone.
with arms wide open. Now everything has changed.
Here we go.
I'll show you everything with arms wide open.
You ain't buying back for the kill.
Just want to live through this. We have to work together. The leader, the master. Has been ravaged.
If I have just one wish, only one demand, I hope he's not like me. I hope he understands that he can take
103. Milton Sonoma.
Hey guys, let's see. There's something wrong with my screen. There we go. Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Viral Venom. This is a very special episode. It's the celebration of life. Tonight's episode is all about Michael Mahal, who had recently passed away. We wanted to dedicate a night towards his work and accomplishments. So we have a few of his close friends here tonight to talk about working on set with him and all the cool experiences that they had. I'm Anthony. This is Mandy. We are. You're here too. Say hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm not feeling too well tonight.
Mandy's sick tonight. We're gonna get right to bringing some of our friends out here, but first we have to give a special thank you, special shout out to Michael Claude Thomas for allowing us to use his song Plan 9 in our intro video. Thank you so much to Michael Claude Thomas and the B Movie Monsters. Download their newest hits all across it's available all across the Monsterverse.
Yes, all across the Monsterverse.
All right, I'm having a hard time tonight. It's a little bit of a different show, but we are going to get through it and have fun together. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about the Apex Predators Club, which is in demand on Indiegogo. You guys can go to Indiegogo today and sign up for the Mahal Empire's The Apex Predators Club. It's a cool new movie that they have in production or maybe pre-production. But there are a lot of cool perks available for the campaign backers out there to get involved. So make sure you check that out. And I think that's it, right? We'll roll on in. We'll get in there.
Bring everybody
Yeah,
out.
let's get people out here. Be a little bit easier, I think. We're gonna start with everybody's favorite, the man who's going in the Guinness World Book of Records. He was just telling us. He's shaking his head. All right, here he is, Rudy Ledbetter. Yay!
I'm in the Guinness, but Guinness told me no, so I've got to find some other record.
You're
I'm
going
working.
in. Guinness doesn't know it yet, but you're going in. So Rudy, as we had mentioned beforehand, normally when we do these episodes, we have a movie called Killer Pizza coming up, and we announced that Nancy Ann Ritter, who is from the original Scream movie, had joined the cast. So normally, whenever we have somebody new on, we ask them what their favorite scary movie is. But tonight's a special episode in honor of Michael Mahal. We're going to change it up. Rudy Ledbetter, what's your favorite Michael Mahal movie?
I would have to say Bloodthirst. It was the first one I got to act in. I mean, he took a chance to let people join the film. Like, I have zero acting experience when I started out, and his is my first film that I did.
Bloodthirst, very cool. So I guess let's just go for it. How many of the Mahal movies had you been in so far? Have you been in so far?
I think of all the ones that have been shot, I've been in 11. It was just a great, like, Michael and Sonny had like the best sets I've ever been on. Food was great, people are great, you're treated with respect everywhere. I mean, like, and that's what got people coming back. It's like it was the Mahal Empire, and he felt like a family.
And that probably really set the standard for a lot of us guys that are trying to keep up, because they did such an awesome job. We're just trying to follow in the footsteps in a lot of ways. And so it's really exciting to have some of you guys on that have done a lot of work with him, so that you can maybe share some of that insight tonight and just let us all know exactly how cool they were, exactly how cool they are. Here's Seize the Day Studio saying hi all, and he says, hey Rudy. I forget who Seize the Day Studio is. Who is that?
I don't know.
Let me know in the comments. I know that I know them, but I don't know exactly who it is. All right. So Rudy is joined tonight by some friends that are waiting backstage. We're just going to get them right out. Oh, okay. It's Anthony Chila. Very cool. All right. So let's jump right in. we have a few more people waiting backstage. Let's get everybody out here, and we'll just have like a free for all, and we'll just go for it. So this next person is an actress who has worked with Mahal Empire. She's also attached to some of our projects. This is the super cool Lisa Kinser. Here she is. Hello, Lisa.
Hello. Hello. Hi.
Mandy has a very important question to ask Lisa.
What's your favorite Michael Mahal movie?
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I think it could be Bikers versus Werewolves.
Ah, okay.
I saw a lot of that, and I think it's going to be amazing.
We're excited to see Bikers versus Werewolves. It's going to be
With the
on
title
our.
like Bikers versus Werewolves.
You
where
gotta
there's no
see
wrong.
it. You gotta see it.
What
Right?
else do you need, really?
Does that have a release date yet?
Not that I know of. Not an official date, but maybe next year early.
Once they set it, we'll help spread that around and
Yeah.
try to get more people. I don't know how we could get more people tuned in because everybody's already waiting for it. But if we could, then we would. All right. So we have a couple more friends waiting in the wings. This next person is another cast member that we have attached to a couple of our projects. He's a super talented Jeremy Hirsch. Whoa, Jeremy's here.
It's Lucifer in the flesh.
Jeremy, we have to ask you, what's your favorite Michael Mahal movie?
So I've been thinking about that, and I'm going to go with Lisa's answer, which is also Bikers versus Werewolves. I know it's not out yet. I saw an early cut of it a while back, and even just that early cut was really, really good. I really liked it. So I'm going to go with, for right now, Bikers versus Werewolves. If I had to pick one that's been released, though, I think I would say Arena Wars.
Okay, so we have Anthony Chila in the comments section agrees with you. He also likes Bikers versus Werewolves, or he's looking forward to it. He's also looking forward to Alien Horde. Was anybody on the screen here in Alien Horde?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. All three of you were?
Yeah.
Lisa and I were
Okay.
together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got to play aliens.
Side by
Okay.
side.
Was Jeremy an alien as well, or were you after the aliens? Were you against the aliens?
So I was a galactic senator, I guess you could call it. I got to dress in a like a whole samurai type outfit thing. It was very cool.
Jeremy, how many of the Mahal Empire movies have you been in?
I think 3 or 4.
Okay. So Bikers versus Werewolves.
Bikers versus Werewolves,
Alien Horde.
Storm, Alien Horde, and I have like a brief cameo in Camp Pleasant Lake.
Okay, so 4.
So yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, so we have one more friend waiting backstage, and I don't want to keep him waiting forever. So we're going to bring out our new friend, Simon Phillips. Here he is.
Hello.
Hello, Simon.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Mandy has a very important question to ask you right off the bat in honor of Michael Mahal. Go ahead.
What's your favorite Michael Mahal movie?
I'm going to have to agree here with Jeremy. I've seen a bit of an edit of Bikers versus Werewolves, which is tremendous fun. But of the ones that were released, I actually quite like. I've got a soft spot for Bridge of the Doomed. So, of those ones. But I'm very excited what people are going to think of Bikers versus Werewolves. It's very fun.
I want to know where you guys are seeing this. Can one of you guys send me like a private link or something?
I haven't seen it.
Top secret.
Oh, Rudy hasn't seen it yet?
I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, will you guys send Rudy and myself the link? All right. We're looking forward to seeing Bikers versus Werewolves. Simon, how many of the Mahal Empire movies have you worked on?
Oh, I've worked on none of them, actually. And not one single movie have I worked on with Michael. But my love of Michael comes from that I'm actually his Canadian competitor. So I would be making the same kinds of movies, if you like, the same sort of genre, low budget, B-movie, indie genre films, kind of good fun. And despite being Michael's competition, which is why I'm here to definitely honor the man and the legend, he was the most transparent, the most helpful person that you could ever meet. And I would be in direct competition with him, like selling the same kind of movies. I'm not here to promote any movies or anything like that, but he was so generous with his time and stuff like that. And we would chat about distributors and deals and ways for the movies to come on, and indeed we would help each other when we can. But I selfishly only started helping him after he helped me a bunch of times. But then I went out of my way to try and help him as much as I can, which is why I see cuts of things, because I can give him an outside perspective. Actually, I'd have no skin in the game on Bikers versus Werewolves. So when I give him edit feedback and things like that, which Michael would do, he would ask a lot of people what they thought of things. But they were both him and Sonny, obviously, were very generous with their time, and that's why I think he's a wonderful person. And it's great that you're doing this, and thank you for doing this.
So the one thing I keep hearing over and over again is how generous Michael Mahal was with his knowledge. You know, he has all these tips and tricks of the trade, and he's kind of giving everybody his secrets. I think that's one cool thing about him, right? Yeah.
I think
okay?
if you ever chatted with Michael about it, one of the things he would often tell people is that there's room for everybody. He was never afraid of another person's movie. In fact, he was, he heard if you were making a movie that was even similar to a movie he would wish you the best, and he would genuinely mean that, and he would give you a contact for a distributor or someone that would you pick up the movie for somewhere, or he would tell you about a distributor if you were asking. We used to exchange a lot of. Is this person trustworthy? These guys, good guys to be in business with, and stuff like that. And he would warn you away against bad people and send you to good people. But he would go out of his way to do that. And that's so it wasn't. It was generosity, like kind of would almost act against himself. Producers are like that. They like to keep their Rolodex of contacts in their back pocket. They're kind of secret. But he was never like that. If you knew the man, he would never have done that.
So he was very supportive of all other filmmakers. It was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was definitely fearless in that way, that him helping other people would never take away from his success. He didn't have any of that kind of clinginess to whatever's out there. He had a real openness that the universe would provide for everyone, who put in the work, and just was fearless about giving away information that could have been hoarded, so that nobody else could do what he did, but he wasn't doing that. He never did that.
I want to try something fun. So I have a bunch of images here. I'm going to throw them up and just let you guys comment on them, okay? A lot of these are the movie posters. We'll start off with those. So when I pull up a movie, if you were in the movie, maybe, some of you guys are probably in the same movie. Just let us know. Somebody shout something out and tell us something fun about the movie. Either an experience that you had on set or something positive that we can take away from whatever you're seeing on screen, okay? We're going to start with an early one. Let's check this out. This one is 30 Girls, 30 Days.
I was in that. That's their first one. That's a fun movie, different than what they're making now, but made with an incredibly low budget, lots of people, a huge party, and they did a lot of neat special effects for the money. I was surprised that some of the stuff was so good.
All right, I'm gonna get this off the screen before Mandy gets mad at me. Here's another one. Here it is. It's Sin City Players, directed by Sonny Mahal, and the concept was by Michael Mahal. Was anyone on the screen in this movie? No? Okay. We'll jump to the next one. We got a lot of them. Attack of the Unknown.
You wouldn't be able to see if Rudy was in it because
Yeah.
he didn't.
Poor Rudy. Yeah, Rudy, you have to call it out.
I was in that remotely.
He thinks he was in it.
I think I was in that remotely.
He was most likely in it.
I was shooting shot Bloodthirst. He said, "Hey, would you want to be like a reporter?" And I went to Michael Sue's house and shot in his garage. He had a giant green screen, and I just shot it there. I think it's that one. I think
I think that was the first one of their movies that I watched. But I don't remember if you were in it or not, Rudy.
If Rudy says he's in a movie, no matter what movie it is, I'm like, yeah, he was.
I think it's Attack of the Unknown. I think it's Attack of the Unknown.
All right, we'll pull up the next one. This was Bridge of the Doomed.
Oh yeah, Bridge of the Doomed.
Was anyone on the screen here in this movie? Not this one. Okay, we're gonna keep her rolling.
That is a good movie. Camp Pleasant Lake. Yay!
I still have to see this one, Bridge of the Doomed. Camp Pleasant Lake.
I'm a like a vlogger at the end. I've got a vlogger thing in there, but so interesting story with that. I have one of the masks from that I got from the director Tom Walton. Like one of they made a couple of extra masks that I got Andrew Devoff to sign actually on the set of Alien Horde. It's very cool. So
very cool.
But, where is that mask? It's over there, man.
We're going to jump to the comments real quick. We have, let's see, Anthony Chila from Seize the Day Studios. Cursed Waters looks good as well. I want to see Cursed Waters. I enjoy Devil's Night. I haven't seen it, to be honest. Josh Gersh, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. I unfortunately never had the pleasure of meeting or working with the brothers, but I very much enjoyed their work. Gone too soon. Rest in life. All right. And then we have C. Reed in here. Hey, this is Billy from the Movie Dogs. How come you're not on the Movie Dogs thing? This is Billy from the Movie Dogs. My condolences to the loss of your friend, guys. Anthony Chila again. Where's that one available to watch? Which one is it? Bridget? Oh, the Camp Pleasant Lake, maybe? Let us know which one, and then maybe we can find it. Maybe somebody in the comments knows. Let's pull up another one here. I know some of you guys were in Alien Storm. Who was in Alien Storm? Was it all three of you? No? Just Jeremy?
I was in it, and I actually just watched, it's kind of sad, Michael, maybe a week or two before he passed away, sent me a secret link to that. And
I knew they had it.
To watch it. It wasn't completely done. They still had to put the credits in and everything like that, but he sent me that link. And unfortunately, I did not get a chance to watch it before he passed away, but I did watch it recently, and it's also really good.
Just feel free to send that over. Rudy, were you in this one?
No.
I'm just kidding. I don't. We don't actually. All right. So, Rudy, were you in Alien Storm?
I think remotely as a reporter. I get a lot of reporter roles. I don't mind them, but I think I was in that one remotely. Because I couldn't go on set for that one.
All right. Now, I know some of you guys had to have been in Cursed Waters. Who was in Cursed Waters?
I was in that one.
Yep.
Rudy was, and Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay. Rudy, were you a reporter in Cursed Waters?
I was not a reporter in that one. I did play a lawyer.
A lawyer?
Against Vernon Wells. John Wells was my client. And Vernon Wells was the other attorney, and so it was cool. It was a group scene, and a lot of group scenes can be hard when you have like 10 people doing all their lines. And I think we did that scene like 10 times. And one time I was like, I think everybody's got it, and they're like, okay, time for coverage, and we got the shot.
It was so hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
So hot.
Lisa, were you a pirate in this movie?
I was a town person who had been done wrong by pirates, and I was very angry and very sad and belligerent. And I was in the courtroom trying to make sure that they all were punished.
Oh, okay. Is that one out?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
Okay.
December was the last thing I heard for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Waiting to see that one for sure. Does anybody on the screen or in the comments section know where Anthony Chila can find Camp Pleasant Lake? Is it on a streaming platform? Is it for sale somewhere?
Both.
Let us know. Both. Okay.
It is available, on Amazon and whatever, and through streaming. It's actually been on Stars, I think. Streaming on Stars for a while. So yeah, it is out there.
Very cool. Jump on over to the next one. Time is flying by too, isn't it? Let's check out Alien Horde. all of you guys were an alien horde, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Were you? Who dies at the end? All right.
I
Were
got to play 2
you?
roles in that one.
You have to watch.
I don't remember if I asked you guys on screen or off screen, so we'll go with Rudy. Were you an alien in the movie?
I got to play an alien with Lisa, and
Oh,
then
you
I
did?
got to
Okay.
play a like a lawyer, funny lawyer in the middle of it. It's like one of the, if you get in a crash, those lawyer commercials, and that's will be like, it was cool to play 2 different people in a film. I never done that before, and that was an opportunity that Michael let you do. I mean, like, just pretty cool.
I got to play 3 different characters in that. Oh, 4.
Yeah, you played
4
4.
different characters in that. 1 alien with Rudy, and I had a mask on, and I played a mutant. I had a mask, and then I played a person with Jeremy on the council. I was kind of a assistant to the president of the council, I guess. And then I was an alien. I was blue, and I was the stepmother of John Wells, whose name I can't recall in the movie. What was his name? I don't remember what his name was in the movie.
I don't know.
But I got to play in a young version of that alien and then an older version of that alien.
I didn't realize you played so many roles in that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I knew Michael Mahal, so I had the sweet hookups.
All right. So Josh Gersh is telling us that you can find Camp Pleasant Lake on Fandango at home. Don't even have to leave the house. You don't have to wait for it to get shipped to your house. Go on Fandango today and stream Camp Pleasant Lake. That's what we're going to do tonight. Do we have Fandango?
No.
We do now. We're getting it. All right. Anthony's saying thanks. He'll check it out. All right.
On the projector.
Next one. Yeah, we're going to watch it on the projector. You guys should do the same. Night of the Tommy Knockers.
I was
Anybody in this one? Rudy was in it?
No.
Who was in it? Rudy?
I was there.
Were you a lawyer?
And it was not a new. I was just like a townsperson. I think that was during
He was a
COVID
news
or after
reporter.
COVID, and we drove from Fort Smith all the way to California, and we stayed there for like a week. And I would work some and remotely, and then I would go to set. But like it was down this like bumpy dirt, like sandy road to get this little western town. But it was really cool. I mean, like, great experience.
Was it in Santa Clarita? Filmed in Santa Clarita?
It was like this western town. It was just like that you drove on these like side roads and like, I don't know. I think I messed up my girlfriend's suspension on her vehicle because you would bump up and down like like over and over and over again. I'm not sure.
Here is a fan favorite. Sorry, Rudy, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry. All right, here's a fan favorite. It's Bloodthirst. Was anybody here in Bloodthirst? No? Oh, Rudy. Okay. I was going to say, somebody had to have been in it. Were you a vampire in Bloodthirst?
No, I was like a townsperson. Just like we've shot at that Nelson Ghost Ranch. Like I've shot 4 or 5 films there.
Okay.
Multiple Mahal. Yeah, Michael's Roller was there, and then some Sean C. Phillips films were there.
Mm.
And Mahal, Bloodthirst.
It's a fantastic location.
Oh yeah, it is. Like
it's in the middle of absolute nowhere, and it is the drive in there is fantastic. The drive out of there in the middle of the night, not so much. but yeah, no, that's a great location for movies.
Clown
Very
Motel
cool.
was just filming out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That looks great too.
Cool. Desert Fiends 2 just shot there, I think.
It did.
Oh, were you in Desert Fiends 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
With Rudy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. We have Devil's Night. Was anybody here in Devil's Night?
I was again. I do a lot of Mahal films. Again, it's just they were so great. The sets were so fun. People were really nice, taken care of. I mean, like it's great storytelling.
Now
also
this
really
is
creative concepts.
So Rudy, I can't remember the actor's name, but this is Hercules, right?
Kevin Sorbo. I was one of his guards.
I'm sorry, you were one of his guards?
Yeah, like in that film, I was one of Kevin Sorbo's guards. Now, in that film, when my character, I guess spoiler alert, my character dies, they put blood in my mouth, and it was a lot. And like in that scene, I'm actually kind of choking. Not gonna die, but like it was pretty realistic to me.
Well, in fairness, Rudy, we know you didn't die.
Yeah.
Because you're telling us the story now.
But
and listen, Rudy, I for one am glad that you played a guard because you were in real danger there of being typecast as a townsperson,
or a lawyer. You could
or a lawyer. Or
I did wear armor, and I will never wear armor again. But yeah, it was fun. But I think we ended up shooting at like 6 a.m. Like the set was called that morning at 6 a.m. and the sun was coming up. It's pretty wild.
So we have Mary Kate here saying, "Hello, film fan. So grateful you're all together to celebrate such a wonderful filmmaker and man. Thank you." Hello, Mary Kate.
Hi, Mary Kate.
Hi, Mary Kate.
Lance LeBron is here. He says, "Rudy Ledbetter," because that guy's in everything. That is true. He's going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. That's what he was saying before we started this. All right, let's see. The next one is Bermuda Island. I like this one. Were any of you guys in this one?
I was in it remotely.
Remotely.
I couldn't go to Bermuda Island. I couldn't go to Puerto Rico. If you in that film, before they're about to get on the plane, a guy's holding a phone, and I'm a newscaster talking about the weather.
So you're a reporter.
Again, yeah. I guess, yeah.
Now, the guy, I can't think of his name. I should know his name, but I can't think of his name. But the guy that made the Ginger Dead Man made the costumes for this.
Oh, Tom Devlin.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Tom Devlin.
Yep,
Thank you.
He's really talented.
He's very talented. He also did Bikers versus Werewolves, Alien Storm.
Anthony Chila says he enjoyed that one. I'm going to assume he was talking about Bermuda Island. Lance LeBrun says he knows Rudy Ledbetter is chasing Eric Roberts.
That dude's got way too many films for me. He's like in everything. He's so talented.
All right, let's see.
You can do it, Rudy.
We got some more. So this is Party Bus to Hell. This is an earlier one. Were any of you guys in this one? No? All right. Well, I thought they're all pretty cool. Lisa, tell us about this picture.
This is probably 2010, I suspect. This was a long time ago in Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, yeah, it does say 2010 on it.
Does it say 2010? Ooh, oh, it does, right there.
Yeah.
It was a Burning Man event. Let's see, what was it called? It was outside Columbia, Missouri, where Sonny and Michael and I lived. And we're looking at the effigy burn on the last night of this Burning Man related group.
Which makes me wonder, Jeremy, what's this picture about?
So that was on the set of Alien Storm, and it was I was actually getting ready to leave the set on the last night, and I quickly said to Michael, he was running around doing stuff, I was running around doing stuff, and I said, "Wait, I got to get a selfie with you." And we took a quick selfie. I don't love that picture of myself. I love the picture, but I don't love the picture of myself because all I see is like the makeup that I have on my face, and it was my first time like really wearing makeup on a film set, and I was like, "Oh my god, I feel so weird." But I love that picture though.
Let's see. What did I do wrong? Rudy is sideways. What happened? What's going on, Rudy?
How did you do that, Rudy? That's talented of you.
Yeah.
This is why they keep casting you as a townsperson.
Rudy, if all of those roles were filmed remotely, then how do you explain this?
Oh, that no, I was in Alien Storm. We did that. Was great. I mean, like, and I think that's when Michael got into to have cameos in the films. Because that was like, if you're doing the films, why don't you just be in them? But I guess most of the time he was so busy, and this one he actually took the time and got to be a part in it, and I was really proud of that.
He was an Alien Horde too. Similar type of makeup.
Okay.
No, I think that isn't that Alien Horde?
That's the Horde. Yeah, this is Horde.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was something I often said to him was, why don't you be in your movies? And no, I'm not an actor. I'm not gonna be in the movies. And I was always like, you got to do it. You got to be in a movie. So I think it's absolutely fantastic that for that last movie there, he had a chance to be in it, and I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I thought I had another photo of him here. I was just trying to find it quick. Maybe it got lost in the shuffle. But yeah, we had another. Oh, yep, here it is. I'll pull it up in a second there. All right. So, very cool. Here we are. Bam!
There we go.
That's a cool one. Looking pretty awesome there. Who did the makeup on this one? Does anybody know?
Stefania and Robert Bravo.
Yep.
Stefania Kozinski or something like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't think of it. Yep.
Stefania, I'm sorry. And Robert Bravo.
And this one is Alien Storm.
Horde.
Alien Horde.
That's Horde.
Okay.
Is that in Laurel Canyon Stages?
I believe so.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's outside in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a
Josh is
standard. That
saying-
spaceship exists, doesn't it? They have a whole spaceship inside there.
Yeah, a whole bunch of different parts of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
It's very great.
Josh says it looks fantastic, and I agree, and I think everybody else does too. It looks awesome. Jeremy, what was your favorite experience working on set with Michael and Sonny?
I'm gonna say overall, I think Bikers versus Werewolves. Sorry, I keep coming back to that one. I mean, Alien Horde was a lot of fun. Alien Storm was great, but there was something about Bikers versus Werewolves. I mean, it was at that Nelson's Ghost Town out in the middle of nowhere. It was cold. It was the Nevada desert. But like other people have said, it's really being on a Mahal film set is really being a part of a family. And people know each other. And there's John. I know John. He was on Bikers versus Werewolves. Hi, John. And it's really being part of a family, and everybody's just works together and helps each other out. The food is fantastic. Even if you're sitting there and it's 35 or 40 degrees out and you're cold, you're all part of a team and you're having a good time. And it was really just a fantastic experience.
Lisa, normally we ask questions around this time. We're coming up on the hour mark. So we like to have fun and ask questions like, if you had a dream role, what would your dream role be? But I'm trying to keep it like Mahal Empire themed. So I'm going to try to change it up. And I'm not sure how to ask these questions. So you guys are going to have to meet me halfway. So if you had a dream movie that came from Mahal Empire, like a type of film that they haven't made yet, what kind of film would you like to see them make?
Well, they've covered such a wide range of films, but I think what's going to happen with Apex Predator Club, I mean, there's similarities, but I think what we're going to do with that is going to be far bigger than what they've done in the past. So I think that one is what I look forward to seeing when you
Can I just say
all the stops.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see Apex Predator. Is anyone else in that? Yeah, Rudy, I have to say it. I think your screen lock is on. You got the lock on. You got to take it off. It's going to go back to normal. All right, is anybody else on the screen with the Apex Predators Club?
I'm supposed to be in it, yeah.
Yeah. We're super excited to see what comes with that. We're really putting our good vibes out there, and would love to see Sonny see it through with everybody attached. There we go.
There we go.
How's that? Looking way better now. Yeah, so Apex Predators Club is still in demand on Indiegogo. People out there can still support the campaign and get involved. We're putting good vibes out there. We know that it's going to go through and it's going to be an awesome movie. Let's see. Simon Phillips. So you're creative. You kind of did a lot of the same kinds of things that Michael did. If you had the chance in a fantasy mashup, Simon Phillips and Michael Mahal, what kind of movie would you like to work on with Michael?
Listen, Michael and Sonny together, you know, they didn't have, you say, what would the dream movie for them? Those guys lived their dreams out in movies all the time. They didn't leave anything on the table. So they made it, if it crossed their mind and they took a liking to it, they made it. So my thing for them is that I wish them the best, you know, Sonny, obviously, but in Michael's memory, that the Apex Predators Club is going to be the best, you know, like, so I hope that is the biggest, the best, and it goes out on a proper high, and that's because that's the last one with Michael's sort of seal of approval on it, you know, sort of as it goes into it. So I'm sure Jim Horton and will tackle that and nail it all. He's a great director, so I'm sure they'll have plenty of fun on that, and I really hope so. My hope is that one is the one that is the best.
Absolutely. John DeMoss says he's also in the movie. Mary Kate says Mary Kate and Lucas Wayne are both going to be in the Apex with Lisa. How cool is that? All right. Rudy Ledbetter. Do you have a moment working on set, kind of going back to what I asked Jeremy, was there a time that stands out to you the most about one, situation, scenario of being on set with Michael that you can think of that stands out from the rest?
Yeah, 100%. It was on Devil's Night, and it was so hot. And like one day I was like, that we had drinks, and I was like, hey, can you ask Michael, can you get us some popsicles? And he's like, you want me to get you some popsicles? I'm like, yeah, it is so hot. And he's like, I'll see what I can do. And then within an hour, I came back. I was filming, came back out there, and Michael was handing out popsicles to people to take care of them. That's what he always did. He was so generous and took care of people. And that's why people kept coming back.
Was Devil's Night filmed in Vegas?
Now, that was like outside Houston, Texas, and like at an actual castle. Like they rented out this castle for like weeks. And we shot at a castle, like a legit castle.
Nice.
They did the same thing with Alien Horde, I believe. People were wearing masks and they were trying to drink, but they couldn't drink through their masks. So we asked them to go get straws so people could put a little something through their mask to get a drink. And we were out in the middle of nowhere, and they drove into town and got straws so people could drink through their masks.
Simon, I have to ask, what was the best piece of advice that Michael ever gave?
Right. Well, I can't probably say that. Michael he was very good about warning younger producers, and I mean that I'm the same age as Michael, but I mean younger as in with less credits behind us, over bad distributors. You know, like sort of. So I mean the type of sharks that exist out in the industry. So I won't draw this into negativity, but he was always good at protecting those around him by saying, hey, this has been my experience with them. And even then he wasn't, these guys might have screwed him over, and he would still not talk as badly as I might talk about them. Like sort of, he was like, he would be still very gentle in his advice about, this is my experience with it. Perhaps it's not everybody's experience, and it obviously was 100% of the time he was right. He was lovely like that and generous, and as I said, he often, as he gave you a piece of negative advice, he was one of those people that would also offer you a solution. He goes, but I have another friends over here if you're looking for something to take on the movie, to do like that. He also used to watch edits of my movies. I used to watch edits of his sort of very privately, so that we would exchange sort of producer notes, like about how what it would sell for, and if there were titles on things, like sort of they'd be running some ideas. So he was just a wonderfully generous person. He is how all film producers should be.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Jeremy, if Michael Mahal could send one message to all the viewers tonight, I know this is a lot of weight to put on somebody, but if Michael Mahal could send one message to all of the filmmakers out there that are watching tonight, what do you think he would say about how to treat other filmmakers and how to treat up and coming actors?
Wow, that is a lot of pressure there. I think that Michael would want everybody to be treated with respect and love and kindness and help each other. We're a big family and a small family at the same time. And as somebody else said earlier, it doesn't help to put other people down. That doesn't lift you up. What lifts everybody up is to be good to everybody, and that's really who he was and the way that he did things and lived his life. And I think that's what he would want to express to people: just be positive and help others. Raise everybody up. It makes us all better.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to put some pressure on Lisa now, but I think you can handle it. So for Michael's family that might see this video, what do you want them to know about this sort of person? And we've been talking about this, but if we're talking directly to his family out there, what sort of person was Michael? And how was he when they weren't around? What kind of person was he? And what do you think they should know about him?
Well, they should know that they did a good job, and that he is a good friend to everybody who knew him. He worked his ass off. He was honest and kind, and he changed a lot of people's lives. Him and Sonny both. This is not just about, it is about Michael, but it's about him and Sonny together. And they've made my life better. For a long time, just being their friends was a highlight of my life. And they did a good job, and he left something behind that a lot of people don't get to, and it makes a lot of difference. And they should be proud. And we're thinking of you, Sonny, and we're thinking of your parents and your family. And I wish this could be different, but we're there for you.
Rudy, gonna try to put an equal amount of pressure on you. All right. So obviously, Michael accomplished a lot, and he had a lot of followers and friends and supporters, and did a lot in the film industry. What do you think his legacy will be moving forward? What will people think of when they think about all of the cool things that he did?
I mean, he cared about quality. Like, if you watch these films, they're quality films. Not be independent, but they're quality film, and he cared about that. And that was like, some filmmakers don't. But that's one thing that Michael did that like kept me coming back. Because if I want to spend my time on set, I want to make a good quality film, and that was one thing I knew he would always do.
Awesome. All right.
Can I add something? Sorry to jump on the end of that.
Yeah, of
but
course.
Also, he did a lot for producer-wise. I realize you're coming at it from one angle.
Oh, yeah.
But also, he showed a great deal of people that making films through Indiegogo and crowdfunding was entirely possible. Like because there was a willing audience out there, and he was the top of that pyramid. Like he just had to gather people together, and he showed that he didn't need money from distributors or like to prop him up. So he was able to make movies collaboratively, like very, very much so. Which was if you consider that I think he raised like $3, $4, $5 million, over a series of movies there on Indiegogo, which is staggering. Is a staggering achievement. And no, I believe I'm right in saying this. I don't think anybody else has done that across that many films ever on any crowd or Kickstarter, Indiegogo. I don't think anyone has raised that amount of money over a series of films. I'm sure they've raised it for maybe one film, but not over a series. So consistently, he proved that it could be done again and again and again.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, of course.
Something else that is, I feel like it's unique in this scenario, that the Mahal Empire started the careers of so many people, to whatever extent their careers go. we can all say, or I can say, and some of us here can say, that it started with them and their dream and their passion. And I've met like 100, 200 people who started with them. And whatever they do, it's because Sonny and Michael had this dream.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I mean they had a dream and they made our dreams come true as well. And pulled us into in a good way, the Mahal vortex, I guess, but vortex in a good way. They pulled us all in and brought us all together and kept us there, and movie after movie, and it was something you wanted to do. It was something you wanted to be a part of. That was just so amazing and so much fun.
Rudy, we're at the hour mark. Is there any?
Excuse me.
That's okay. Is there anything that we should have said about Michael that we didn't get to cover? Is there anything you can think of that you'd like to add that we just didn't get a chance to talk about?
He just followed his dreams and just didn't give up. I mean, and he gave so many opportunities to so many people. And that's just what he wanted to do. He wanted to live his life helping others. And that's just a great thing.
Okay, and then we'll just go around. Lisa, same question.
Well, one of the last things that I was talking to him about was one of the celebrity actors that's potentially going to be in this Apex Predators Club, and he was talking about him. And the last thing he said about him was that he was a legend, and we kind of just stopped talking for that night. And Michael Mahal's a legend in his own way. And sometimes you burn out fast instead of fading away. He burned bright, and it was a pleasure to be able to know him.
And then we'll go to Jeremy. Same question.
I think Michael, one of the things he said, and I think this is a post he had, that he wanted to hit like 100 movies or something like that, and he wanted to, he knew he wanted to have this legacy and that would last forever, basically, through his movies, and it literally, it breaks my heart to think that he's not going to hit that, because I think that he would have hit that 100 movies easily. But I think, I would encourage people to just be like him, and people in the indie film industry, just, be like Michael. What would Michael do? If you've got a question, WWMD, right? What would Michael Mahal do? And he would support other filmmakers, like Bill Connor says here, he'd say, keep making movies and support indie filmmakers. That's what he'd want you to do. And that's, what I think we should all do. And if we could all live our lives like he did, I think the world and certainly indie film world would be a lot better place.
It sounds like an open invitation for people to let go of grudges and to support one another in the film industry and to build this thing up, because that's what I think all the filmmakers deserve, right? We don't need the negativity. Hopefully, in a way, in the most I don't know how to say this without offending anybody, but hopefully it's a wake-up call for some people that life is precious and we shouldn't be holding on to negativity and holding on to grudges and things. So maybe it's time to let some of that stuff go and move forward in a positive way and try to build each other up. Simon, is there anything that...
Just for a second.
Yes, sorry, Simon.
No, I want to tell everybody good night. I'm not feeling too well right now, but I want to thank you all for coming on tonight and taking this time with us to go over everything about Michael Mahal, to give everybody that insight and everything to who he truly was. So thank you again. I do have to go really quickly, but bye, everybody.
Thank you. Feel better.
Feel better.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to scoot back over. Hang on. There we go. All right, I'm taking over the show. Get out of here. All right, she's nothing. All right, she's gone. Let's talk about her. All right, Simon, is there anything that we should have talked about or mentioned about Michael Mahal that we didn't get a chance to mention?
No, just one thing. Whilst this is incredibly like a sad event, I think when Michael his untimely death, obviously, but to be honest, I think when he gets up to whatever God you believe in, and he has to do something, he was doing the thing that he loved when he died, and he'd been doing it for a while, which is a great example to all of us, as that obviously life is short, which this is a reminder of, and not that anybody needs that reminder. But he'd been living his dream in a way that nobody ever thought possible. It wasn't possible to make a life doing that way, and he was making it work somehow. And when he started 15 years ago doing it, it must have seemed like okay, this isn't a job, this isn't a company, this isn't a way to live your life. But he made it that way. This is what they wanted to do, him and Sonny, and they made it that way, and they made a life doing it. And they when he died, he was doing what he loved. It wasn't a bad life at all. So I think this, he's to be applauded for doing that, and he opened the doors for lots of other people to kind of see that as well. It's like, look, it's not impossible. You can do it. You have to work your ass off, obviously, but nobody minds working their ass off at something they love usually.
So, if we've all said what we wanted to say, there was a post going around that Michael had written not too long ago. And if I can pull it up here in a second, I think we'll send everybody off with that. Was there anything else that we should have mentioned or anything that anybody wants to say before we say our goodbyes tonight?
I want to thank you guys for putting this together.
Yes.
This is really great.
Thank you for coming on and being a part of this show and helping us do this, because we really wanted to have people on that were close to Michael, people that knew him well, people that had worked with him. And I think it's probably important to the film community. And, like I had said before the episode, everyone's going to grieve in their own ways. But I think it's a difficult time for a lot of people. And this might be a way for them to kind of find some closure, hopefully a little bit, or at least help. Michael maintained a consistent positive attitude no matter what anyone said or did.
Yep.
Mandy says, I'm so sorry that I had to leave. Thank you again. So Mandy never leaves. If you've seen the episode, she never leaves. She has a health thing going on that we didn't want to mention it because it's all about Michael tonight. But Mandy's having a little bit of trouble, so she had to dip. But everything's going to be okay. So we have this post from Michael, and I think we're going to finish off the episode with this. And this is the only way that we are going to be able to say goodbye tonight, I think. So we'll read this, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody. So goodbye in advance, okay? All right. Michael Mahal Empire. To my friends and fellow travelers through life, I often think about how short our time is on this planet, spinning through an endless universe filled with galaxies beyond count. It's wild, humbling, and sometimes hard to wrap my head around. I'm agnostic, open to all faiths, because I believe most are rooted in goodness and a search for meaning. I don't have all the answers about existence, but I've realized maybe that's okay. Life has been an incredible journey, full of ups and downs, wonder and growth. And even without all the answers, I'm grateful for the experience. If you ever feel lost or afraid, know this. It's okay not to have everything figured out. What matters most is being present, being kind, and continuing to seek truth with an open heart. We're all part of something greater, and that in itself is beautiful. And with that, we'll say goodbye to Michael.